Hey guys, we're here with another Foundations video where we're going to talk about leading a rehearsal as a worship leader. A band rehearsal is one of the most crucial components to executing a Sunday service with excellence. And sometimes they can be really stressful to lead because of the pressure to accomplish everything that you need to as a band within a short amount of time. In this video, we'll discuss some goals that you should have for your rehearsals, ways that you can prepare for them, and some in-song tips that will help you move through your set more efficiently. Here at Grace, our rehearsals take place on Sunday mornings about 2 hours prior to the start of our first service. And after taking away time for team meetings, line checks, and congregants to come into the room and be seated, we are left with about 1 hour to rehearse the set. If we had midweek rehearsals, this conversation would be a lot different, but we don't, so we need to use our time as efficiently as possible. Establishing some clear goals for rehearsals will help us do this well, so let's talk about those. The first goal of rehearsal is for everyone to be confident in the direction that you are going with your worship set. Not only are we working on individual songs, but the transitions between them and any other speaking moments, prayers, or readings that may be included in the set. Any questions about how all of these things flow together should be asked by anyone involved to ensure that everyone is on the same page. The second goal is to make appropriate adjustments to maximize the collective sound of the whole band. Rehearsals are not the time for musicians or you to be learning parts of songs. Those should be ready to go way before rehearsal starts. Instead, it's an opportunity to listen for ways that the band can complement each other more effectively and for you to implement those changes with input from the band and audio engineer. The third and final major goal is for everyone to feel comfortable with their in-ears before the first set starts. It's much easier to lead in the moment when your ears sound great and really difficult when they don't. Rehearsal is a great environment for you and the band to get those dialed in so that you hear everything you want and need to hear things clearly and feel inspired during the set. In order to lead an effective rehearsal, you as the worship leader need to be prepared. The first thing that you should be prepared to do is communicate where you are going with the set. Not only should you know the order of worship really well, but you should be able to go a little deeper and articulate the why behind the songs, readings, and calls to worship that you've chosen to include. Think about where you want to take people and let your team in on that. And before you start your rehearsal, pray that God would guide you all in the direction that He would lead you. Please don't ever forget to pray for your rehearsal and the whole service before you start. The second thing you can do to be prepared is to know the arrangements and chords of all the songs that your team is leading in the service. If there are any questions about any of those things, you should be able to answer all of those questions with great confidence to keep the rehearsal moving along smoothly. And another thing that you can do to be prepared is to have all of your tracks and cues ready to go and tested before rehearsal starts. I know from experience that the momentum of a rehearsal can be halted greatly if guides are in the incorrect positions or tracks aren't warped to the correct key. So make sure to take the time to test them beforehand so that they can aid rehearsal and not make it more difficult. Second, don't be afraid to take a break from singing and call out cues and numbers in the moment if needed. There will be times when you hear things that are a little off, and a really efficient way to correct those is to call them out in the moment. And when you hear that the corrections have been made, affirm your band members directly, even while the song is still going. This is really helpful to do when there are really small things present that can instantly be tweaked in the moment. There are times, however, when we need to make some pretty drastic changes to how we're playing a song. And in those moments, don't be afraid to press pause and communicate what needs to be changed, then start over. If you try to press on and finish the song really badly, you'll probably have to do it all again anyways, and you can save a lot of precious time by stepping in and correcting things earlier rather than later. And the last thing to make sure to actually do in rehearsal is to practice speaking moments and transitions until you and everyone else in the band feels very comfortable executing them. There are probably going to be key changes between songs in your set, And it's always helpful to practice saying things out loud when there aren't any people in the room to make sure that what you're saying is clear, helpful, and truthful. Don't neglect to practice those moments because the smoothness of a set can really be made or broken in how transitions are executed. We hope that this video has been helpful to you and offers some encouragement as you step into leading band rehearsals. And if you have any questions about this content, please feel free to reach out to us at worship@grace-bible.org. And we'll see you next time.